Okay, here we go. I thought we would give an update this afternoon of just what we've got with the weather. On the Mississippi side, we don't have any warnings at this point. But that doesn't change the fact we have severe, we'll call it heavy rain coming down this afternoon. And it is coming in buckets sideways where you can't see. If for whatever reason that you're having to travel, we want you to be extremely careful. We do have a tornado warning just to the east of us, and we want to remind folks it's not that far from here. Toxie, Alabama, these areas, it's getting kind of rough in your area. On the Mississippi side, it didn't turn into anything. Let's quickly look at this Alabama side, and we're going to come back to Mississippi to let you know what we're doing. As we ease out of Clark County here, and let's turn on locations where we can see all this in relation to everything. As you come right out of Alabama here, this is Gilbertown, Alabama. Right there, just above there when you get to Toxie, the rain intensifies in between there and Butler, Alabama. Now we have a storm right now that is leaving out of Clark County. This is the leading edge of it from the Mississippi side, going across, and it should reach Toxie within the next 22 minutes. Heavy rain involved with this, a lot of wind and lightning as you see this all around this area here. Now also just on the east side of Toxie, this is going to be Highway 17. These storms are going to be headed towards Spring Hill, Slater, Alabama, within a half an hour. As we go just a little bit further east, and all of these storms here come out of the Mississippi side. Thomasville, Alabama. If you live in that neighborhood, you need to be seeking shelter now. It's just south of Thomasville. And let's look at this. This is Highway 43 near Midway, and also a community called Round Hill, McWare, and rural Alabama, right up there at Springfield. These areas here, here's Thomasville. The storm's sitting right there, moving to the east. As it comes across, we'll make it to Culpeper. But this area right there on 43, it's a small area now. This started back over here. But tornado warning until, let's get that time on that. Let me pull that up where you can see that. That's going to be until 3:15. 15 more minutes remaining on that, just south of Thomasville, Alabama, Highway 43. If you live in that neighborhood, here's Sweetwater, Alabama. Here's Butler. Here's Pennington. Here's where the tornado is here. Back on this one, we don't want to rule this out as it makes its way across here. This is pretty rough weather that we've got near Toxie, Alabama. So be on your P's and Q's in that area as well. Heavy rain around Butler, Alabama, around the courthouse as we see that. Pennington getting a downpour. Light rain as we go up here right about there. It's going to be at Cromwell, the volunteer fire department there. Light rain. Now, let's move up and look at what we've got going on here across the areas. As we come up here, this is Macon, Mississippi. Pouring rain. We're starting to see a break on the west side of the county in Winston County now. If you live there, if you're over here west of Walmart in Louisville, you're right. Raining at the jail, Winston Academy is raining. Now, all the way from Highway 14 as you come across and make your way to Macon, Mississippi, it's going to be almost where you can't see. Stay home. Don't travel. Bethel Baptist Church there. Golly, it's bad. All the way over to the hospital, to the state line. As we come down east of Noxapater, where we had all of this wind yesterday in this area here, pouring rain. As we make it to Sugarlock, Mississippi, all that area. As we look at the eastern side, northeastern side of Neshoba County, moderate rain at this point there, all the way up to the Nanawaya area there where the mounds are. And we come across into northwestern Kemper County there, all around where Preston is. Linville area, heavy showers, and this cuts back across Kemper Lake. It's going to be raining there at Spring Hill Volunteer Fire Department. Eddie and the gang right over here at Cypress Mills, it's pouring. Now, when you get to Scuba, a little break there on 16 all the way to the county line, you get just past DeKalb, and you're going to get right there about where the dump is, right in the area of where East Mississippi Sportsman is, where we used to have a roadside park. It gets heavier. By the time you get to the riding club, right there on the right, coming into Scuba there, the riding arena, it's going to be pouring rain. By the time you make it to Giles, Mississippi, you just can't hardly see out there at the county line. And that's going to take in Bennsville all the way over to Gainesville, Alabama. Look at this. If you're traveling these roads here off of 17 over to Gainesville, be extremely careful. As we come down into southern Kemper County and we come down the 2 Mile Bottom, still heavy rains. You get a little break there as you hit the top of the hill there at the Lauderdale-Kemper County line. As you come on into Lauderdale County, it's going to get heavy as you get near Lauderdale, Mississippi. And as we scan the top portions of northern Lauderdale County, all this area out here at West Lauderdale, the elementary school, back over to the Sam Dale Monument, and as well as at NAS Meridian, look at all that rain. Now, this is going to drift down and still be heavy all the way out on 19 and all of this area here past Collinsville, past the four-way stop, Highway 494, two-lane roads, very heavy. Now, 39 is going to pick up right about where Barham Funeral Home is, right along in there, that heavy rain there. It's going to go north all the way toward Kemper County. Northeast High School, heavy rain. And the southern portion we'll see here out at Southeast High School, out at the elementary school, pouring rain all around the Boy Scouts. We get a little break around Rodney's place there at the races, a little break, and it'll pick up there. Now let's go west and look at this. This line that we've got right here coming out of Newton County, and over the last 35 minutes, it has poured there around Hickory. Right now, this rain has moved there from Lazy Acres, and it gets a little bit heavier. Here's Meehan, the volunteer fire department. You look at Chunky right there, the post office. Pouring rain, lots of lightning down here south also. Now, when you get here to Stuckey's Bridge, still pouring rain. Dunn's Fall, the rain is approaching it as it comes across here. Now, as we get to Jasper, and y'all be ready because it'll be another shower making its way into Clark County right out of here. Montrose, as we look here in Jasper County, Highway 15, all the way to Lewin. You get a little break there before you get into Bay Springs, but heavy. Smith County, still showers there. But this right here, this stretch from Bay Springs into Lauderdale County and the western side is pretty much the worst that we've got in the local area right now. It is a need to drive careful. Again, let me remind you, there is not a warning of any sort, but that doesn't change the fact of just how bad this rain is. I just got a text from the radar system. It says lightning. This is going to be in Winston County. Shallow Baptist Church is where that is. Heavy lightning in that area. The National Weather Service, as I read into all this while ago, decided to back off and not release a thunderstorm watched area. Now, as what they tell us throughout the afternoon, is going to be some showers that linger. This is going to be kind of slow. We could see a warning come out at some point. There's a possibility of that as you look at all of this. Now, it's going to slowly make its way out of here, but look at that rain that we've got there. This is from Stark, Vegas, Columbus, all the way down. Kemper County getting it, Lauderdale County getting it. Right here is what these storms that have come across here and then developed into something more into Alabama. The only tornado warning that I know of. Let's turn radar off where you can see this. Make sure that we don't have something else I didn't see. That's going to be it. Now, we had an aerial flash flood watch in the northern part of the state, but you look out all over the United States, and this is where it is right now, right here, a little bit up there in Arkansas. Now, don't forget, tomorrow is also going to be a weather event day as we get ready for it, probably a little bit more serious than this afternoon. But as we brought up originally about all of the rain that we were going to get, 2 to 3 inches in between today and tomorrow. It's going to be a floater. There's no other way to word that. As we glance on that, Wanda Jones, how are you doing there? Watching from Alamooch. Good to see you. Karen Palmer joining us there. Tony Stevens, how are you doing? Up in Union. Pouring rain, QS Payton says pouring rain in Montrose. We see that. It is. Pat Banks is joining us. We look at Lamar Henry. Appreciate you too there, my friend there. Deborah Thomas there, currently in Winston County. Diane Hill watching from the Zero. Lots of rain and thunder and lightning in southern Kemper County on 495, Leona tells us. Thank you. Dot Smith joining us from Stonewall area. Clarkdale is going to be getting some rain. We'll go back down and take a look at that again. Rain in Vicksburg. How are you doing, Caitlin Ann? Glad to see you there. From Battlefield, Stephen Juan McKinnon join us there. Stonewall is there. Raining in Lauderdale, Linda Payne says. Nathan Turner joins us from Clarkdale. Over in Newton, Diane Moncrief. How are you? So many people, and we appreciate y'all joining us. Let's go back into this radar, take a look. I think that tornado warning has a few more minutes remaining there. Let's take a look for Alabama. That's going to expire in roughly, 8 more minutes on that. We turn back on our locations. And let's get a good look at this. Now, down here at Jones Junior College, we're picking up a thunderstorm that's going to come across. That's going to go right in there to Wayne. As you'll see as I click that, it's going over a lot of rural areas without any named towns is where that is headed as it goes in here. Here's Jones Junior College. It's going to be southeast of there. There's Waynesboro. And we go back up in here and just look at this Jasper County. And again, if you're in Clark County, you're getting ready to be pounded. Now, as we start to see here in Lauderdale County, it's picking up rain as it comes across there. Stuckey's Bridge, these areas. If you live out here in Clarkdale, you've got rain now, but look at this, heavier rain is on the way. So if you haven't, and I hate to even say this, and hopefully everybody in that area did get tarps on their roof damage, all of that, I do hope you've got that covered, because this is going to be a little gully washer that is coming across there as you see this at Dunn's Fall. Right here, as we look at Goodwater Baptist Church, that is some kind of rain there. As you zoom in on these areas here a little bit closer and take a look, there's where Goodwater is sitting there. This is going to be Meehan Savoy Road, Elam Road, also Goodwater Roads, and Goodwater as we go up here, and this crosses Burridge Road in that area. All in there. Now, that's pretty heavy rain. Again, out to the jail, this is going to be creeping its way toward downtown Meridian as we look at this up here by the back porch and Owls and the Rock House Trading Post there on 19. Pouring rain, just shy of the four-way stop now as it eases across. Again, we don't have warnings, but still, it's a lot of rain. What I tell you on this is to be careful. I'll be here throughout the afternoon to watch this, and this will lead into Easter as well. We'll watch this tomorrow. Should bad weather break out in any shape, form, or way, we'll be here to go live to tell you about it, street by street, to let you know where it is. I'm like you. I like to know where things are. I don't want to be blindsided by any kind of weather that I'm not expecting. So we'll be here to walk you through it and help you along the way. We can't thank each and every one of you enough for joining us and being a part of this. Steve Jackson says pouring there in Enterprise. Sarah Smith raining at her house also there. Pamela Williams joins us from Hickory. Alicia McCoy, how are you doing? That sideways rains, Jeannie Whaley says there. Connie Singley, lots of rain in the Martin area also. And again, what this stuff does over the next day or two, you're going to see it run into these creeks and rise. Be careful with this, and it's not even is a lot of areas that you go across, and of course we know it can float a car, but sometimes what you can't see is where the road is washed, and we certainly don't want your car falling off in a pothole. Slow down, go a little bit slower as you come around curves and things. We've got wet weather that these storms over the last few days have blown, made everything kind of weak, the roots are. You take a little bit of wind with one of these thunderstorms that are moving across here, trees will pop. We could have more weather go out. And before we go, let's go up here and let's just double check to make sure that we don't have some outages that I'm not aware of. Let's go to EMEPA. They are down to 50 people. Let's pull this back up where you can take a look. They have worked hard. Those guys are still out there doing their best right now to get this power turned back on. As we look at this, here we are, and I want to say all this is going to be Lauderdale County. 49 Clark County. I was a little off there. It was a little south as I looked at that. And one in Neshoba County. So let's go here back to the map and take a look there. Let's zoom in on this. This is all going to be, I was looking at the map wrong. Here's Meridian. It was a little further south. They've got all this area in zero. This is going to be one area in Clark County. Let's look at here. Walker Road. This is going to be in the area of County Road 470. Here's Walker Bottom Road right there, and then there's about 5 people just on the west side of this. Here's Clarkdale Road, and we've got 5 people right there on County Road 350 without power. They're working very hard to get that back up. 44 on this side, and then that one other person in the other county. They've climbed a lot of trees. They've moved a lot of light poles. It'll be interesting to see how many light poles were snapped and broke with this event. It was a lot. A lot of thunder there in Philadelphia most of the day there, Terry says. It has been. So that's our outlook of where we are on weather this afternoon. Again, no warnings, but warnings are not. It's pouring rain. It's a lot of wind out there and a lot of lightning. I have spoken several times to the young lady that was struck by lightning yesterday, the family members. Let me back up on that. The young lady that was struck by lightning yesterday. I think they've taken her back for some observations at the hospital. And I didn't quite understand how that worked, but from what I'm seeing, what they're telling me is a tree was struck. It hit the tree, went to the ground, and she was standing in her yard, and the lightning traveled underground under the dirt to her feet, went through her body, and then came out her head. And it is a huge place on the top of her head where that lightning bolt come out. And again, as we said, prayers for that family as we watch that. Lightning is very dangerous. It's just a little reminder that God gives us every once in a while. Easter is coming tomorrow. Don't forget about that. Up early. Be there. It'll be a good message for you somewhere. And again, we have so many things to be thankful for here. We have been beat up on for, 4? This makes number 5 as severe weather has gone through, and no loss of life in any of our areas. We can't say thank you enough to the good Lord up above. We've been fortunate. We've lost a few garbage cans, we've lost a few roofs, and maybe a house or two, but no loss of life. That's what's important. Again, we'll come back. Should the weather turn a little bit different, we'll do that. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we monitor the weather for you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: